Hello, it's Scott Manley here. Today I am looking at the classic space adventure Starflight. Now, this game dates from mid-80s. It came out a couple of years after Elite, and it's the first game that really integrated procedural content and an actual story. You know, Elite was great at producing a universe which was entirely procedurally generated. There were a couple of missions in some versions, but Starflight really has an overarching story which fills out the universe and makes it more livable, let's say. This is the Amiga version. However, it really is a very simple port. It has better graphics, slightly better graphics, not much better. And it has terrible sound, considering the Amiga had one of the best sound chips of its era. But yeah, we'll step through that. Interstellar police warning, as provided by the Galactic Treaty of 4410. This computer software product is hereby declared the intellectual property of the human authors, binary systems. All rights are henceforth preserved in space and time. Okay, that's just copyright message. We don't need to worry about that. And yeah, this is the magnificent vista that awaits you. You are this little dude walking around the space station, and there's lots of things to see. We're going to go to the operations place first. This is where a large part of the storytelling happens. It's where you get messages and receive messages and find out about your mission and your reason for being in the universe. 1st January 4620, you are about to embark on your first mission. In your bank account you will find the amount of 12,000 monetary units. This money is to be spent training your crew, configuring your ship, and purchasing any necessary materials. Of course, you may wish to leave some portion of this in your bank to earn interest. This is acceptable at this stage of the operation. Our primary goal is to gather information. Consequently, your objectives are to seek out, explore strange new worlds, boldly go where no man has gone before, establish contact with any sentients, capture and bring back non-sentient life forms, record alien life form data, bring back alien artifacts, bring back any valuable minerals, keep from getting brutally killed. I like how number 2 is 2. Boldly go where no man has gone before. That is smart, you guys. Yeah, I know, telling you were smart 25 years ago. We have little information to offer concerning what might find, but we suggest, however, that you avoid the area around coordinates 13584, since that is where we lost contact with 2 of our earlier ships. Scout reports indicate a high density of minerals in the mountainous regions of the innermost planet of our system. Further, we have found information that leads us to believe that there may be ruins of the old empire at coordinates 17 by 162 in the second planet of the neighboring K-class system. We have also received some indication of alien activity in system 17594. Good luck and a safe return. So yeah, we start out as explorers, and you got to recruit your crew first. So, first place to go is the crew, the personnel department. So we're going to come up with a crew. I'm going to just create a few. Add, so let's see, it'll be Captain Scott, obviously, because that makes sense. And he can be a human, because humans are pretty much not terrible at anything. Next, we're going to add a science officer. So the science officer will ultimately, well, we'll decide what they will be. Our science officer can be, let's make it, what's his name? Werner, right? Yes. Werner von Kerman. Now, android are okay at science. Thrin, L1, yeah, it's pretty much going to be a human science officer. Okay, look at that. We should replace these with like Kerbal outlines. That would be kind of funny. And then we're going to need a navigator, but we're going to call this MechJeb, because he's going to be an android for now. MechJeb. So we're going to make him an android, because androids are actually pretty good at navigation out of the box. You cannot train them, unfortunately. Okay, and I don't know, Mech Jeb 2? He's going to be my engineer for now. We're going to train other guys, but we can only train them up when we're home, so there's no point in bringing them along. Next one, we're going to add someone to do communications. Who does communications? Bill, I guess. Bill is our communications expert, and he is going to be a Velok. No, he's going to be a Thrin, a lizard. He's going to be green. He'll be the right colour for once. And we're going to create one more. We can't take Jebediah, because he's going to be the pilot, and I think Bob will actually be our engineer. So we've got to come up with some other Kerbal names. Crap, I'm forgetting. Oh yes, there's Jean. Yes, he can be the medicine. He should actually be the comms person now I think about it. But he's actually going to be green as well, because he's going to be an Elowan, who are a plant-like race. Okay, so that's me got a basic crew. Now, I could do some training and stuff right now, but we'll skip over that simply because I want to show how skills kind of affect the game. So we run over here. We can assign the crew to their seats in the ship. Crew assignment here. One person in the middle, one on the left, one on the right. I'm going to just assign these in order right now. So we have Werner, Mechjab 2, Bill, and Jean. Excellent. So yeah, we're going to have Werner 1. This will be Bill. Oh, this will be Jebediah, and this will be Bob, I guess. There. That's going to work pretty well. I really should have thought a little harder about that, but never mind. Okay, we've assigned our crew. Now, next, we need to head over to the ship fitting area. We have a bit of cash, so we're going to improve our spacecraft right away. Ship configuration. So, we want to, first of all, buy some cargo pods so we can store our cargo. Now, that adds a bit of load to our ship. I don't know what our capacity is, but we'll just put like 4 cargo pods on. We've got a bit of cash right now. We're not going to be going beyond the solar system right now. We're just loading up. We're just going to kind of look at the resources in our natural solar system. The ISS Gerbil. So we have a name we can launch. And there's another couple of places. This is the bank, and this, I guess we can put money in the bank here, right? We just go over here and say, put some money in here. Come on. Come on. Yes, bank. Do I actually put it? Okay, so I'll get 12% interest on my money. That's great. And over here is the trade depot, and we don't have anything really to trade except fuel, but I'm going to leave the fuel around for now. Well, if you're quick starting this and min-maxing, then you initially sell a bunch of fuel and you train up everyone to have max skills and things like that, and then you go after the stuff. Now, yeah, the first part of the game really is all about making cash, and there's a bunch of different ways you can do that, largely involving flying in space and going to planets and finding things. Ship computer activated, initiating pre-launch procedure, standing by to launch, Captain. Aye aye, Captain. Let us launch from the space dock. Confirm launch. Now, at this point, it requests security code for the Cross, Crystal Cone, and Velox, and I need to actually tab out of this window and find a little application which comes with the Starflight on, if you buy it from goodoldgames.com, you get it. So you take, these are basically emulates the behavior of the old code wheel. You had a cardboard wheel where you would rotate the edges to match these 3 different things. One would be, the first one is a location, the second one is an item, and the third one is a race. And it gives you a numerical code which you need to type in to get undocked. Actually, that's not true. You can get undocked even if you don't have the correct code. What will happen is, eventually, someone will come up and blow your ship out of the sky. So, you got to get this thing right. It was a protection system in the early days to make sure that people actually bought the game and didn't just copy the game. And of course, what that meant was pirates saw it as a challenge to circumvent this protection system. So I kind of think it's a holdover from a bygone era. Listen to those sound effects. Whoa, warp drive. Excellent. So now we need to leave orbit. So we proceed to the bridge. Click on the navigator and leave orbit. And so we should be able to fly around the solar system. Excellent. And yeah, we can use keys to fly around. Now, the first place I'm going to go is the first planet. So you see my location in the top right there. And it moves very slowly in the solar system. There we go. Orbit planet. So now we're in orbit above a planet. What do we do first? We ask our science officer stuff. It said, science officer, can you run a sensor scan of this planet? Aye, aye, sir. Mass 2.1 to whatever times 10 to the thing. We have unknown atmosphere, unknown hydrosphere, unknown bits, but we have some magnesium. Let's do some analysis. Planet, orbit number 1, predominant surface, uncertain gravity, not certain. This is not good. Obviously, we need more science skill here. And we shall train him up, but it will be actually safe to get out here. So we'll just accept that this is safe. Go to the captain and say we're going to land this ship, or at least land the ATV. No. So select a site. They said that in the high regions we have materials, we have minerals. So let's pick a white stuff that's light. And then we'll descend. Now, during descent, we have the option of leaving the window open. We're going to see the viewport, so we can see how well this did, the 3D descent onto the planet. Yeah, look at that fractal planet, right? I know, yes, procedural terrain has come on a long way since then, but this was somewhat cutting edge. Actually, this wasn't cutting edge at all. Captain Blood was about the same era and did way better. A lot of this was simply down to the fact that they were targeting less powerful machines. This drawing, seems very, very slow, but to be honest, it was not representative of games of the era. They were able to get much more performance out of an Amiga. I think, honestly, it feels like they were just trying to emulate the speed of the PC version that was available at the time. We're descending slowly, very slowly. This could take some time. Come on. And now we're going to come in. We'll get the terrain grid, locking in topography net. Okay, so again, we're going to watch. We're going to get a nice 3D representation of the terrain. Clearly, these people have been watching things like Aliens or Alien, where they had the 3D terrain kind of mapped out like this. And they decided that they wanted to emulate that on their home computers, and then they realized how slow these things would run and how tedious. I mean, technically this is probably close to real time, but you know what? It is not great gameplay. You can go off and make a cup of tea and come back, and it will be landed perfectly for you. I guess there were people that really were into roleplay even back then. Maybe they, dressed up as giant bugs or plants or something. I don't know. I mean, are there Kerbal role players out there? That would be kind of funny. Okay, safe landing, Captain. So now it is time to disembark. Bring our crew onto the surface so that we can actually explore and find strange new minerals. Okay, disembark. Auto hull sampling defenses, whatever. Initiating scan, and now we're on the surface. So we come out in this little crew vehicle that lets us run around the surface. And the first thing I'm going to do is turn on auto pickup. So these little these little pickaxe symbols, these are things to mine. And the white areas use more power, you'll notice. You'll see up in the top right, you'll see an energy and an efficiency rating. The efficiency gets higher as you go on the lowlands. I'm going to keep going in this direction. I'll just go generally south until I start to run low on power. There must be some more minerals this way. There we go. Give me those sweet minerals. I need to use them to fund my space exploration. Now, I played this on a live stream a while back, and somebody said, oh my god, it's like Mass Effect. And you know what? It literally was a huge inspiration for Casey Johnson or whatever that made Mass Effect. He cited Starflight as being an inspiration, and let's face it, Mass Effect has this whole thing where you're like a government-assigned agent, and yet you are still made to mine your own minerals and whatever, to sustain the war effort. Oh, there's not enough room in the vehicle. Well, I guess I'm going to have to go back. There goes my fuel. Scanning new terrain. When it says scanning new terrain, what it's really doing, and it's not telling you, is that it's actually generating the terrain grid, for the new area you walked into. Or drove into. It's generating this stuff more or less on the fly and not necessarily particularly fast. Northeast, north. We're going to keep going north. We should probably stay on the brown areas. Let's go on the brown. There. See, that way I'll be able to go faster. And I'd love to pick that stuff up, but there's no room in the car. I'll come back later. Okay. So now we can embark, drop off this cash, and we'll be able to get a little more. We'll just make another run out here, but I'm not going to make you watch tons and tons of mining as I make money, because that's not interesting. Actually, let's just launch. We're not going to open the viewport. The viewport is, during launch, is basically identical to landing, and it's slow and tedious. Let's go back to the bridge, and we'll go to the navigator, who's going to leave orbit, and there's another planet we should go to. Now, we were at the second planet. Let's go to the third planet, right? No, I'm not going to orbit this planet. Okay, let's go to the second planet. I believe the third planet. Now, the second planet in the solar system is called Arth. It is not Earth. Earth does actually exist in the game, except it's a legend. 2,000-year-old legend, a planet once called Earth. You'd think they would remember it somewhere. Okay, so this is a different planet. You see how it has lakes and stuff? Let's not ask the navigator. Let's ask the science officer to do an analysis for us. Mass unknown, but it has bio. Look, it has some bio stuff. It has minerals. Let's analyze these readings. What does he think? Predominant surface is frozen. Gravity is not certain. Atmosphere is thin. Subarctic to temperate. Great, now let's land here. And let's skip the actual landing sequence because I'm not going to be able to talk my way through it. Select site. Okay, I'm going to a kind of lowland area. I think this is a good place to start because I'm looking for life forms here. Now that's the other thing you can do, is you can find life forms. There's also alien ruins, and there's, space battles you can get into, and of course you can find the wreckage from the aliens is useful for, you can sell that on and everything else. Okay, so now you see right away, what is this? What is it? We can click on this, and that tells us everything here we need to know. Amorphous lifestyle, whatever. Weather, it is windy, temperate. We're not certain of the gravity, even though we're on the surface, but our terrains are cracked plains and hills of white snow and ice with a gelatinous carpet life form. Again, more of that procedural content. These are the aliens. You see how they all have cool names like a huge purple plant-like omnivorous producer with a poison sac, amorphous producers with an acid sac, small black fungoid omnivorous producers with an acid sac, so on and so forth. Okay. So the other thing you can do is you can look at the aliens, and it'll tell you this is a small fungoid life form with a leathery surface. It has tiny, spindly, rod-shaped fruits and a tiny, slender acid sac. It appears to be sessile. Great, let's go and scan it. We can do the same thing, and it'll tell us approximately 40 centimeters tall. Aggression analog emu, intelligence analog a rabbit. Well, let's go and pick this up. So we go to the weapon. I'm just gonna zap it. Zap. You have not stunned the creature. I have stunned the creature. And I'm gonna zap this one as well. Stunning them takes energy. Apparently, I've lost the ship. Incidentally, I've stunned the creature. Okay, excellent. Apparently, look, I've lost the ship, even though being right next to it. Let's go here and cargo. We've got to go to cargo and pick that up. And pick this up. So the keys are kind of weird mapping because radial, what is this? Let's take it. Excellent. Okay, so now if we zoom out, there might be some other stuff to look around for. There's some minerals. Let's go for those. I should turn on auto pickup. Auto mineral pickup. It is snowing lightly, so you actually have weather on planets with atmospheres. So that's another thing to deal with. Okay, let's use the weapon on this one. Zap. I have not stunned the creature. I have stunned the creature. Excellent. You can kill them as well, but I'm gonna grab all of these things. Real excellent. Now I'm just gonna zoom a little further out so see if I can see some other features to look for. These are ruins over here, so that's what I wanted to look for. There are ancient, or not so ancient ruins, but there's definitely ruins to investigate. Look, this has something in it. What could be that flashing red light? Okay, so, Gargoyle. Bladed toy. What is a bladed toy? Let's take that. Exit. I have no idea what that is. We can scan this one as well. Scan. A recent ruin. Okay, that's not so interesting. Exit scan mode. That looks like one we should shoot. Find strange new worlds, new life forms, and shoot them. Why did I train up I haven't trained up my communications officer yet, but I don't know if I need to train up my communications officer for dealing with these guys. Of course I don't. You have your communication officer for dealing with the various alien races. Okay. So let's zoom out again and see if we can scan the area and get some more ruins. What I'm really looking for is ruins. Nothing this way. But Oh, lightning strikes the terrain vehicle. Gene is injured. Gene is the wimp. So he's a plant. So he really takes it hard when he gets hit. Yeah, that's really where vitality or whatever, robustness matters, is that when you're on the surface, they'll take damage. They can actually die. There's no, individual party-based combat. There's another ruin there. I'm looking for ancient ruins, really, because those can have all sorts of interesting things on them. Very specifically, ancient ruins can have Enderium. Let's see if there's anything here. Nothing here. Nope. Zoom out again. This is going to be long and tedious because maybe I've landed in the wrong location. 30. Okay, 160, 120 east. Okay, I'm definitely in the wrong place. Okay, why is this not? Oh, there's an ancient ruin up there. Excellent. That's where I want to go. And you could probably just hear a strange machine in the background. That is probably my wife grinding coffee. Oh, look. So this is an ancient ruin, and it contains, it has next to it Enderium. Enderium being the fuel that is used to sustain our spacecraft. Now, I need to start heading back, especially since we consider that my navigator is apparently unable to find our spacecraft. Let's just check. Oh, it says our ship is northwest. They found it again. Good for you, navigator person. Okay. So let's embark and we'll head back to base. And we'll sell these ill-gotten gains for more cash. Launch. No! Confirm launch. Yes. There's obviously keyboard shortcuts for all of these because it was designed originally to be played with keys. As it happens, the mouse is just an additional thing that was added for these 16-bit versions. Leave orbit. Now we're going to head back to our base on Earth for some more developments of the story and whatnot. Okay, so Earth is a second system here. Wow. It's keyboard buffering here, so I've stopped pushing buttons and it's forgotten. Keyboard buffers, oh yes. Remembering what I had pushed and what I was doing. Dock with starport, yes. So we're now here, the doors close. We are safely ensconced in our space station, able to repair ourselves and, do all those other things. We have a doctor station, even though we haven't actually trained them, incidentally. You don't actually hire a doctor as a crew member. Okay, disembark. But I think it's a science officer skill who gets used. Okay, so we're now in here. So what we're going to do is head over to our trade depot and sell some stuff for profit. And this profit will, of course, go to improving our ongoing mission. So what do we have? We have aluminium. We have endurium. Yes. Magnesium. Cell. Yes. Cell. Yes. Cell. Yes. I can just push S and yes. And now these artifacts, I'm not sure. I can sell the cell. I can sell the items. Now the unit cost is the cost per for volume. So the larger things are worth. You multiply the volume by the cost, and you get how much money you make from some of these. So although they may look ridiculous, they're actually pretty good. And you see, I've got an extra 10,000 just from the endurium, which is good. So let's exit and let's go and actually examine the artifacts. I made like 10,000 credits. I'm going to need a lot more than that, to be honest. But let's exit here. Where's the scans? Scan. Oh, yes, I'm going to scan the bladed toy just to see what it is. It costs me 500 to scan it, but you see that I get 250 back. An analysis of this artifact has revealed very little of interest. It has slight value as an alien curio, but otherwise is totally useless to us. Similarly, at least there's two of them, so I get 2 items. That's great, I can sell those. The wee green blobby, let's scan it. And yes. And again, not even less. Analysis of this artifact, blah blah blah. Okay, well, I'm going to sell these because they're not that interesting. But there are artifacts that later on are key to the plot, key to the saving of the universe and all that. So let's sell these, and we'll exit out of this and head over to the operations center. because the operations center may have new messages. We've been on the road, so to speak, so it's time to get the latest from their Interstellar Operations Division. It's the 6th of January. It is necessary to give you some unpleasant news. You may have been aware that for the last several years, scientists have been observing anomalous fluctuations in the radiation levels of our sun. While you have been away, it has been ascertained that the stability of our sun is definitely deteriorating. How much time we have until there is a fatally large flare, we are still not sure, but there is little doubt that this will eventually occur. As yet, we have no clue as to the cause of this instability. Therefore, we must assume that there is nothing we can do to change the situation. In view of this, the only option available to us is to get as many colonists off of Earth as we can. You can be invaluable to us in this. First, we need Endurium to power the ships we will build. We will pay well for that, for any that you can bring back. Secondly, we need to know where to send the colonists. As you may have already discovered, your ship is equipped with homing drones, which you may use to log recommendations. This is so that we can move the colonists out as quickly as possible. In addition, a sensor has been installed which will inform you of the stellar condition upon entering a system. Your ship computer will inform you in the event that a flare is imminent. We advise caution while in systems which are more than slightly unstable. Being caught in a solar flare would certainly be fatal. In your manual, we have outlined the criteria which will be important in your evaluation of viable colony worlds. You will be rewarded for recommendations of valuable planets, and penalized for recommendations of planets which turn out to be uninhabitable. Consider carefully before logging a planet. Next, to all captains, one of our ships was just destroyed by what reports indicate to be androids approximately 20 sectors directly coreward from Earth. When passing through this area, proceed with caution. We have received reports of an area outward and downspin of Earth about 40 sectors distant. There is a constellation there in the shape of a cross, which seems to mark a nexus of continuum fluxes. We suggest, however, that unless you are properly prepared, you avoid this area, since we have already lost several ships in its vicinity. Continuum fluxes are like wormholes. Okay, so that's where we're going to end it today. I think we'll continue with the actual story later on. I'm Scott Manley. Fly safe.